Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach and today I'm driving a 2013 Chevy Silverado Z71. Up front is a 5.3 liter V8 and down below is a 6-speed automatic transmission. And if you want to read more of my thoughts, head on over to carmarshal.com/overdrive where I'll be writing a complete article about the Silverado. But let's get back to that 5.3 liter. So the engine is an LS variant, but it's not truly an LS, but it's still a 5.3 liter. Not bad. And what's really cool is that it has cylinder deactivation. So when you don't need it, when you're going for extra fuel economy, the engine can actually shut down up to 4 cylinders. So it can actually turn into a 4-cylinder in traffic or on the highway to use less gas, which is really nice. When you have a big truck, that is always one of the downsides, is the fuel economy. Trucks never get good fuel economy, although this day and age, EcoBoosts are kind of helping that out and such, but it's really nice that it has that cylinder deactivation. 6-speed automatic shifted on the tree, nothing really too crazy there. I was surprised that it's a 6-speed, being that it's just kind of a more generic GM product, a generic GM transmission. I was surprised that it had 6 speeds. I would have thought it would have been less. Now, because it is the Z71, it does have 4-wheel drive, which is all done through a knob to the right of the steering wheel, but when we talk about the interior, we'll get to that in a little bit. So let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have a bunch of different gauges that'll tell me a bunch of different information. On the right is a speedometer, and on the left is a tachometer. Now, the thing I don't like about the tach is that it doesn't actually have a colored red line. It just goes up to 6. A little vague, but it does the job. Then on my far right, I have battery voltage and water temperature. Then on the far left, we have oil pressure and fuel. Then on the speedometer, there's a little gauge that can be changed to show almost anything. So I'm gonna go through that now. Right now, we're looking at the instant economy V8. That's that cylinder deactivation I was talking about. But let's switch it up here. We have odometer, trip odometer, fuel range, average economy, fuel used, speedometer, timer, you can time stuff, trans temperature, and then we're back to that V8 economy. But if we then hit the vehicle information button, we can also switch through oil life remaining, units in English or metric, front tire PSI, rear tire PSI, engine hours, which is really important for like work vehicles. You can change the compass, you can calibrate the compass, or you can just do a blank screen. You can change the display language, the auto door lock, auto door unlock, remote door lock, remote door unlock, delay door lock, exit lighting, approach lighting, chime volume, remote start, factory settings, and then it's just an exit. So you can literally choose and change anything just through the little screen at the bottom of the tachometer. On the steering wheel, we have cruise control on the left and your phone controls on the right. To the left of everything, we have the dome light controls and headlight controls. To the right, we get our 4-wheel drive controls. That's what I mentioned earlier. It's just a dial, super simple. You can leave it in auto, you can leave it in 2, 4 high, or 4 low. Then you get a radio, very generic radio, very parts bin GM, but it does the job. And the fact that it has an aux cord still has a leg up on my Pontiac. Dual climate air conditioning, which is super nice, especially because this cabin is so large. You can actually really get 2 different climates going on, which is awesome. Then down below that, you get a couple different buttons. One is to adjust the pedals. You can actually bring the pedals closer or further away from you, which is really nice because the steering wheel, it tilts, but it doesn't telescope. If you're a little bit shorter, you can bring those pedals closer, or if you're taller, you can bring them further away. It's just another level of adjustability, and I really appreciate that. Then it says the parking sensors, so you can turn off the parking sensors. If you notice on the rear bumper, there are these little circles, and they're parking sensors. They're beepers, essentially. So they'll tell you when you get close to something. Then you have your fun button, or the traction control off button. Then to the right of everything, you get this little cubby hole, I guess. I really don't know what it's for. It's super unuseful, honestly. You can't fit a phone in there. You can't really fit change in there because it's not deep. It's just kind of a hole in the dashboard, which is a little odd. But to the right of that, you get your glove box, or should I say glove boxes, because there's actually two. The top one opens with a very interesting handle, which is the same kind of handle as a Nissan GTR. I think it's really funny. You push one side and then you pull the other. I just thought that was funny. Then down below, you actually get another glove box. Up top, we have 3 different buttons for different garage door openers. Super nice feature. If you somehow have 3 garages to open, you can open up all 3. One thing that this interior does have is cup holders. There are 9 different cup holders in the Chevy Silverado. Speaking of which, the center console here has 3 of those cup holders, and it has a ton of storage. Not only can you put 3 cups in it, you can open up the top, but the bottom seat under the center console, because yes, this is a seat, you can open as well. There's so much storage in the Silverado, it's insane. The Silverado also has back seats, which have their own back doors. They're kind of half doors, but what's really cool is that they open up backwards. They're suicide doors. The Silverado doesn't have really a B-pillar of any sort. So when you open it up, you just open up the whole cabin of the truck. It looks really cool and it's super functional, although you can't close the front doors without having the rear doors closed. All right, so now I'm in the back of the Silverado, and honestly, it's not horrible back here. I'm not totally cramped. My knees have to go on either side of the seat. Headroom is good. The one issue I did find back here was you cannot close the front door when you're sitting back here. So I closed my little half door, but I can't reach and close the front door. It's not that big of a deal. Obviously, if I'm sitting back here, 99.99999% of the time, someone's going to be sitting here and they'll close the door. But it's just, for this video, I just realized I couldn't really manage and close that front door. I do have a pull handle. I have my own little button, can roll down these windows. The truck is off, so that's why I can't roll them down at the moment. Not really super comfortable back seats. They're maybe that thick, so nothing crazy. I do have little pockets here, pocket behind the seats. Ooh, 2 pull-out cup holders back here. These contribute to the 9 cup holders. But overall, not a bad back seat. Definitely better than a single cab. And if you need a longer bed, it's definitely an option that you should go with because it doesn't really sacrifice bed space. Once you get into the full 4-door, then you sacrifice a little bit of bed space. So this is the extended cab. There is a crew cab or a full cab, depending on your description of it, that will have 4 full doors. But this is the crew cab, so it just has the 2 little half ones. But surprisingly enough, the rear windows on those half doors actually go down. They're not the little pop-out, fake-out windows. They're actual full power windows that I can lower just like that. So the Z71 package isn't really that extensive of a package, but I think it's actually a pretty necessary one if you actually plan on using your truck for truck things. And basically what it is, it's an off-road package, so it has that 4-wheel drive, as well as it adds skid plates underneath the truck. So if you plan on going over any rough terrain, the skid plates will help protect your truck from that. Overall, the Chevy Silverado is really, really comfortable. I have to say it's probably one of the most comfortable trucks I've ever driven. I've driven Dodges and I've driven Fords, and overall, the ride quality, it's very smooth. It's a little floaty, so if you like hard suspension and if you want your truck to corner like a Miata, this isn't really the truck for you. But it's really, really comfortable, and the seats are super comfortable. The cabin is really wide, and so it allows obviously 2 people to sit in here very comfortably, and really if you had to squeeze 3 people up front, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. But I think the 2000s, and this is a 2013, but really the 2000s saw a change in pickup trucks where pickup trucks actually became useful everyday vehicles. If you had to only have one vehicle, you could own a pickup truck. Back in the 80s, they were square bodied, none of them had AC, harsh suspension. They were made to get the job done, and then you'd get into your little Fiero or whatever and drive home. But this, I could live with this truck. I could daily drive this truck. And I know it probably doesn't sound like I'm saying much, like, oh, you could daily drive it, but really, this is a huge thing. This is such a capable vehicle. It has 4-wheel drive, has that 6.5-foot bed. You can fit almost anything in the back. it's a very capable vehicle that you can drive every single day. And especially with that cylinder deactivation, I wouldn't hesitate daily driving this at all. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys learned something about the 2013 Chevy Silverado. If you want to read more of my thoughts, head on over to carmarshal.com/overdrive. But again, hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.
There goes a sight from my soul.